Hey there, it's Christina with leadsandleverage.com, and I am coming at you today with another episode of The Ribbit Show. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you are watching this in replay, would you do me a favor and would you comment below? Let me know you're here. And I really like to know where you're here from. I know this is all virtual, but I like to know where everybody is. And it's my chance to kind of get to know you, get to know where you're serving, what you're doing, things like that. So awesome. It would be great if you would comment below and let me know where you're popping into The Ribbit Show from. Thanks so much. And if you are watching, actually, I want to step back and we're going to be talking about, basically the topic is how to use Facebook to generate buyer leads ASAP. But we're going to go broader, you guys. We're just going to talk about getting buyer leads ASAP, because maybe you just need to get some money in that pocket, or maybe you just need to get some stuff going. So we're going to talk about getting buyer leads who want to buy this summer right away. So if you're watching this live, and I see a few of you popping on, if you're watching this live, would you do me a favor? Would you comment below, just like my replay viewers, comment below, let me know that you're here, and let me know where you're popping in from. Where are you guys popping into The Ribbit Show from? What parts of the world are we seeing today? So awesome, you guys. Let me know if you like what I'm teaching you, what I'm helping you with. Click like, click love, click whatever. Let me know your thoughts. If you have questions, definitely let me know. The feedback helps me shape The Ribbit Show based on your needs and what you guys need and how I can best help you. So let's sort of kind of start doing this. Are we guys ready for this? Are we guys? How's that for grammar? Are we all ready for this? Hi, Donna. Hey, Kim. Maybe I'll wait a second because everybody's popping in. Mary. Yes, I think that some people think that Phoenix is Satan's armpit. I totally get that. That's funny. Hot. Hot, hot. That's funny. Crack me up. All right, guys. So we're going to talk a little bit. Oh, wait, I have a favor to ask, and I haven't asked this before. Would you do me a favor? Would you hit the share button, the little share thing below, and share this? Share this to maybe a group that it's okay to share it to. Don't spam any groups, or share it to other colleagues of yours and things like that. That would be awesome to bring in agents who maybe need this information, who need this help, who maybe don't have some money to go into some deep trainings. So let's try and help as much as we can. So go ahead and just share this if you will. But please, if you're going to share this to a group, make sure it's not spamming the group. I do not want you to spam groups. So if you just want to share this to your personal profile, that's awesome. I'll take that. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. Puerto Rico. That's why I said where in the world, because I thought maybe you would be here. Maybe Leo would be here from Guam. You guys are all over. I love it. Okay, so we're going to kind of talk about how to generate buyers. And I know I said it was how to use Facebook to generate buyer leads, and I'm watching on the computer too, so I don't miss questions and comments. I know I said it was how to use Facebook, and we're gonna focus on that, but there's a lot. There's kind of layers to all of this. So my question for you guys, and I'm actually going to wait for the answers to this. So, excuse me. My question for you is, what have you been told, or what have you done when you have needed to get buyer leads right away? What have you been told to do? Maybe by your coach, by your broker, by other agents. What have you been told to do if you need buyer leads kind of ASAP? I need buyer leads. What should I do? What have you guys heard? What have you been told? What have you done? Tell me. Doesn't matter if it works or not. I just want to know what you guys have been told. I follow a lot of the Facebook groups, and I hear a lot of the comments, and of course my own experience. Yeah, open houses, buy leads. Yeah, open houses again. Looking for more. Anybody else? Yeah, those are all those are two very common. Open houses? I think that's the most popular one. Open houses. Desk, are you talking now, Kim? I keep looking at the computer because I see those faster. So Kim, are you talking about like desk calls or floor calls or things like that? Desk duty, stuff like that? And Mari, buy leads, open houses. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, those are the popular. You're right, and I think yeah, Kim, floor duty or desk duty or whatever. It depends on what they call it. Yeah, so those are all the common. We're told to buy leads, we're told to hold open houses, and we're told to do desk duty or floor duty. So and so we do these things. Most of the time, it's because we don't know what else to do. But what I want to talk about is, I don't want to say not do these things, because that's part of a layer. It's part of a layer. I think that once you get your layers and foundations built up, most of those things will become unnecessary. But we're talking about immediacy right now. We're talking about right now, this moment, this week, finding someone to work with this week. So when we talk about all those, let's think about this. I'm going to use the term starting out in real estate, but I know a lot of agents are not new into it. You're just looking for the deal right now, or looking for someone to work with right now. So let's think about this. When you are, I'm going to say, when you are not busy, when you are not working with someone, and you're looking for your next deal, so to speak. A lot of times we end up doing things like open houses, or we look for resources like buying leads, or we'll end up doing like the floor duty stuff, or the desk calls and things like that. And, oh, that's a good one. Buy 1,000 business cards and hand them to anyone with your 7-second speech. That was my real estate professor. Okay, so all of these things, there's all kinds of stuff that we want to do, but we have to think about this. We need food now, obviously. But at the same time, if we do not have a long-term vision and plan in place, we're not going to eat tomorrow. So we might be able to feed ourselves today, but we won't eat tomorrow. Okay, so you need to be thinking about this. I know you're hungry now, so you need to be thinking about this both in the short term. This is the first layer, the midterm, and the long term. So we're kind of talking layers here, okay? So here's what we need to do. Yes, I think if you are not busy, if you don't have listings, if you don't have buyers that you're working with, absolutely you need to be doing these things like open houses and doing all these different things that people say to do. And I say that people say to do because they are one of the layers. Yes, people have experienced success doing those things. I mean, they have experienced getting leads. They've done things. So Rebecca's having a problem can't see the episode. Okay. Hey, hold on guys, 1 second. Chuck, would you hop on to the page real quick and let Rebecca, Rebecca, you can hear me. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Says like, maybe you can hear. I hope you can hear. But Rebecca, or could somebody please pop on and let Rebecca know that she might not need to refresh her app or download an update to her app for her to see all of this.
Rebecca, who?
Thank you. Rebecca Graves.
Okay.
Thanks, you guys. Okay, so remember, when we're going at this, we're thinking about now, tomorrow, next year. So we're thinking in 3 terms, okay? So we don't want to be so focused on getting food on, oh, she's in now, she said, getting food on our table today that we're starving again next month or next year, okay? So in other words, as we're gathering the immediate people, most of the people that we gather in, and I'm going to tell you ways to do it, but most of the people that we gather in are also, they're going to mostly be future, like later, like a few months or a year or so. So we need to make sure that as we're bringing them in, we're preparing to feed ourselves for the future. We need to do all layers, not just panic and think about today. Okay, so that is the biggest thing, is it's multiple layers. So yes, go do those open houses, okay? But you need to be thinking about, okay, if your area, I hate open houses. I never did them. I did not like them. I would let other agents do them. I thought it was a great way for them to learn to talk to people and do things like that, but I didn't like them. So I found other ways. But whatever way works for you, if an open house is really something you're willing to do, then do it. But here's the deal. Make darn sure you're also doing something else at the same time. So if you're at the open house and there's nobody there for the first 20, 30 minutes, guess what? You need to be writing hand notes to people, letting them know, sending notes out to people, sending emails out to people, calling people, whoever you're contacting, setting up your long-term email nurture process, doing all the things in the layers. You need to be doing more than just sitting there. Don't be at an open house and rest on your laurels. If you're really hungry, you're going to be doing everything. And I don't mean everything. Let's narrow this down a little bit. You don't want to be so random that you're just chaotic and you're not actually consistent on something and you're not actually focused on something. You don't want to be that. My point is, when you have a plan and you're implementing open houses, you're not just sitting there implementing the open house. So if it's busy and there's people coming in and you need to be paying attention to them, then pay attention to them. Listen to the questions that they ask. Even if they're working with another realtor, listen to the questions that they're asking. Are they asking just about features on that house? Okay, maybe you need to use those features to run some Facebook ads. Are they asking about the process? Use those questions to create blog posts and emails and posts for your Facebook page. So leverage that because that is the immediate to the next, and just let people know that you're there. If they're wondering, well, what do I do this? Or if they say I'm working with a realtor, guys, guess what? Get the name of their realtor and get their name and say, hey, I would like to get more information to your agent for you. Ask them, and then call their agent and let their agent know that they were in the house. Follow up with this. Now, if you're working with, like you're doing somebody else's listings as open houses, that seems a little bit harder because you're kind of referring it out. So what I would do is talk to whoever's open house or property listing that you're doing an open house with, and talk about, maybe the open house brought in a buyer that was represented by another agent. See if you can get a referral. We would absolutely do that if they did that and it was a direct result of that open house. Now that means you're going to have something trackable. You are going to need to have something for people to sign in so that you can prove, to the listing agent, this person was here, they came, and this is the follow-up that I did. Even though it's not your listing, that will get you, $500, $1,000 is better than nothing for that 3 hours you just spent on an open house. So don't think of it in terms of, it's their listing and they're going to get the sale. Think of it in terms of, well, can I get it closed and can I get a referral? Or can I get it closed and build a relationship with this other agent? Maybe this other agent will let me do open houses so I can build more people. Maybe these people like their agent, but also liked me and me helping, and they'll refer somebody to me. You just never know where that goodwill is going to come from. So do that. So those are all advantages. But make sure if you're not physically talking to somebody at an open house or helping somebody at an open house, be building your next step. That's what you need to do. So there's that. Then the next thing, obviously do all those things that people say, but don't be random. The other thing, you need to purge the non-essentials. What are you spending? Hey, Rebecca, what are you spending your time doing that's not actually getting you connected with potential buyers? Okay. So are you in office meetings that might be getting you trainings, which are great, but what you really need is you need food on the table. So in the beginning, as you're doing this, you want trainings, but you don't want to be so involved in trainings that you're not actually out there implementing. So you need to be out there. So purge those non-essentials, purge those things that you're just kind of just spending a lot of time on that aren't really proactive. Okay. And the other piece to this is you have a plan, because if you wake up every day and you're kind of like, oh, what am I going to do today? Oh, let's maybe do an open house this weekend. And what am I going to do today? And you're kind of, you feel like you're working, but you're really not. You need to have a plan. You have a strategy. Okay, I'm going to hold an open house on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. Same house, same place, same time. You know what time you should be holding open houses on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays? During rush hour. Do you know where you should be holding open houses on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays? Somewhere that a lot of traffic goes by. You want people to pop in. You want people to be spontaneous on these. You want people to show up. So there's all kinds of tricks and fancy and all this work Sorry, the internet went for a second. There are all these tricks and all these things you can do for open houses, but let's just do something that's simple and works and effective. So get a listing in a high traffic area, or as high traffic as possible. I am spunky today, Rebecca. It's probably because I was listening to one of my mentors and they just it's like a big shockwave of energy and determination. And yeah, that happens. So, hey, Alexander. Hey, Donna again. So where was I with this? So some very basic stuff. Get an open house out there. Do it during a rush hour. Do it for an hour. I mean, just do it for an hour. If you do it from like 4:30 to 5:30 or 4:30 to 6, hour and a half, 3 days a week, same house, just do it and see the people popping in and start helping people. Have something set up at your open house that you can use to help them with the next step. At the same time, you also need to be growing your future. And what I mean, you've got the now and you've got the couple months from now, and then you've got the year from now. You have to be growing all of it. You need to have a plan for each one. So the immediate things are typically door knocking. I hate cold calling. And not to brush that off on you, but it's almost a waste of time unless you're cold calling the same people every single month, because you want to build. Cold calling is like a one-off. So whatever you do, you want to build on it. If you're going to door knock, pick a neighborhood that you will be consistent in. Pick houses that you will consistently connect with every single month. That's what you want to do. You need consistency and repetition. You also need to be giving value. If you're going to door knock, give them something. And I don't mean stats. Stats are fine, but give them something. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Something about the neighborhood. Here's what's going on. I'm so-and-so with so-and-so. Just wanted to give you this to you kind of know what's going on with your home, how this is going to affect your home value. If there's something building around it or improvements being made in the neighborhood, give them stuff. Just give. That's the point. When you do that kind of stuff, if you're going to be a little bit intrusive through a door knocking concept, then make sure you're intrusively giving value, not seeking information from them. And what's going to happen, this live stream is a perfect example of a door knock. I am just giving value. Yes, I have available a Facebook page setup checklist that you can sign up and become part of my email community with. Yes, I'll have other things available, but at the same time, I'm just giving you value and I'm here and available, and that's it. That's what you want to do when you door knock, but you want to keep hitting the same people over and over again every single month. Yeah, Rebecca, you're right. And that's why some people door knock, some people do open houses, some people do different things. I just wanted to kind of hit on all those. Rebecca was saying it's very hard to door knock in this part of Florida. Everything is gated. So then your immediacy, guys, you need to be consistent. And here's the other piece. This piece is a little bit harder because a lot of times we don't recognize it. We really don't recognize it. And that is our mindset. What's very interesting is I have always had a mindset of I can figure it out. It's figure outable. Marie Forleo says everything's figure outable. I've always had that mindset. So especially when somebody tells me that something's impossible, there is no better way to get my goat and to get me riled up and get my feathers ruffled than to tell me something's impossible. And I'm like, oh yeah? No, it's not. So that really that gets me. So I've always had that mindset, but it doesn't go into everything. I have realized the last couple of months that it does not permeate every area of my life. And so I'm like, oh, I need to change that. So we need to recognize our mindset. A lot of times if we don't have a strategy or a plan or understanding or a goal, or if we're not really hungry, we say we're hungry, we say we want to build it, but something's holding us back. We don't know what it is. We need to identify what that is. For me, the biggest thing that was holding me back, which is just I look at it now and I'm like, well, that was stupid. That was like, where did I get that? And why was I oozing it out of my pores? What was holding me back? I'll tell you, I didn't want to have to be responsible for other people. And here's what I mean by that. By committing to helping you guys, by committing to doing this, by committing to go bigger and help more, it means that I'm exposing myself more. It means that, guess what? There's going to be more haters. It also means, guess what? There's going to be more people who like me. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for love and hate. I'm doing it to help. And the only way I can help you is if I keep helping you and do it more and be consistent. So I didn't want to be accountable to anyone outside of myself. I wasn't even accountable to myself. So that was my mindset. And I didn't realize that. It was just kind of really? Because I'd always been, everything I do, I am moderately successful at. And so there was this idea of, well, that's okay. If I go farther, what if I fail? where there's that. So this whole mindset thing, when we're hungry, we have nowhere to go but up. And a lot of times we're afraid to go up. We're afraid we put in the work because we're afraid it won't work, or we're afraid of how busy it will make us. We perceive our perceptions. So we need to face those. So if we're not actually out doing the things that we know work to get buyer leads, then guess what? There's a mindset issue there that's blocking us. So now that we know, like, obviously we can do the face-to-face stuff. If you want to get buyer leads on Facebook, let's do this. You need to have your Facebook page set up in a way that captures leads. And that is not as a local business. And that is not how most people are showing you to set your page up. So what I did was I have a checklist. It's above leadsandleverage.com/FBPGSS, Facebook page setup strategy. That checklist, you're going to have to give me your email to get it, but it is a checklist that's available for you. Right after that checklist, there's a video that you can watch. And for $7, you can purchase the Facebook page setup strategy workshop. And I walk you through how to set up your page as a real estate agent, how to get all of the capture pieces in there that are beyond what Facebook offers, to make sure you take advantage of all the different ways that you can capture people. Because when you go to run ads, which is what I'm going to talk about next, I'm going to tell you what ads to run and how to run them. When you go to run ads, you don't want to miss people who just look at you and go away. You want to capture those. And that's why you want to go through that. So the checklist is an email, and then right after that is a video. And I talk to you about the setup strategy workshop, and it's $7 to get the workshop. That's it. So it's really great. That is probably one of the best workshops that I've had my members tell me they really like, and it's really helped them. And it changes the idea of Facebook. It changes the idea of how to use Facebook. So that's my commercial, but the point, it's not really a commercial because that's the first thing I talk about. If you want to run ads, you need to have your page set up so that you capture the straggling fruit. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing you want to do, there's a whole process, but this is for immediacy. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a target audience, and you want to run Facebook ads. I'm going to tell you what kind to run. You want to run Facebook ads out to that audience. There's a couple things you need to know. First of all, the kind of ad that you're going to run ads that are focused on features. You're going to use your IDX. Okay, so you need your IDX, and you need an IDX that allows you to create what I call jump links. Let's just focus on this just a second. Okay, so jump links. Jump links are links that go to very specific criteria. So if you do a search inside your MLS and it's, let's say it's 4-bedroom homes with 3-car garages. Okay, so you're going to do that feature right there. So you need to be able to do a search in your IDX, and just those types of homes pop up within whatever price range you set. Then when you go to run an ad, you're going to target people who are more likely in your market to want a 4-bedroom home with a 3-car garage. And that's usually a move up buyer with a family. So because they need more parking space and more bedrooms. That's what it usually is. Here's another example. So another example for an ad. If you have waterfront properties, one of the best ads that we ever ran was, do you want to live on an island? Now we're in the middle of the country, well, not in the middle of the country, but we're in the Pacific Northwest, but we're in northern Idaho, North Idaho, and we have lots of lakes around here. But one of the biggest things is live on an island or living on an island. And here's what we did. There is an island. It's very small. There's an island here that it's on the river, and it has, 50, 75, 100 homes on it. And so we would just do a search for the listings of those homes. And then we would run ads saying, do you want to live on an island or live on all these different variations of that? That pulled, oh my gosh, the number of leads that it pulled was insane. It also pulled our fastest cash sale, 2 weeks. They texted us, I'm going to tell you some tricks. They texted us and paid cash for a $300,000 empty lot in 2 weeks. It was fast. I mean, like text, boom, close. So now that's an immediate, but you're doing for all of it. Now listen, here's what you have to do. Here's what you have to do if you want this to work. You're doing this. You're running these ads on Facebook. You absolutely must be driving these people to that IDX search link, and you must require registration before they see the details. You have to. You have to require their name, their email, and their phone number. You have to. And because that's where you're going to get those leads. And then you can follow up with those leads. And you want to follow up with them both short-term and long-term. Here's the other thing. You also want to put a text number. Text me at blank for more information in the ad. So that the more information on living on an island. You want to do that because people like to text. So you need to do that too. So that's what you're doing. You're setting up an ad. You're targeting it to people with the right verbiage, and you have it set to the right link on IDX. You know, it's a home search link, and use a variety, guys. Gosh, when we were running these, we'd run them on Craigslist and we'd run them on Facebook. So tons of different things. So I did everything from island, golf, let me think, river, lake, all the popular stuff. I talked about views. I talked about certain neighborhoods. Do you want to live in the Landings? Do you want to live in Riverside Harbor? Do you want to live in a waterfront community? I did features. Do you need a man cave? So places that have man caves. Do you need a shop? Do you have horses? I mean, we ended up having hundreds of different types of ads everywhere with these things, but every single one of them had an ability to text us, and two, went to an IDX link. That was the search they were looking at, that they were responding to, that required registration. Now, something about this. This is going to be funny. You're going to get some fake registrations. That's okay. Some of those fake registrations turned into real closings. So you just treat them all the same. You're going to get people who will email you. This one I never understood. People who will email you and said, well, I wanted to respond to your ad, but you required me to put my email address in there. And I just had to shake my head because they emailed me with their email address to tell me that they didn't like having to give me their email address to look at a property. Just ignore those. Just ignore those, treat them kindly, keep them in your follow-up. But here's the key. You have to follow up. You do not have to make a call within 5 seconds and all that garbage. Most agents don't even follow up. So here's what you need to do. Follow up. Set them up on an email plan. Set them up seeing the listings that are similar to the ones that they just registered for indefinitely. The longest that we ever had somebody in looking at our listings was 54 months. 54 months, or looking at all the listings. It takes time. So that's your long-term plan. The shortest was the one I told you about. From the time they texted us to closing, cash was 2 weeks. So you have immediacy and you have FAR. So while you're at your open houses and in between people, think of different people that had searched for different things so you could set up ads and be running those ads. So you want to do that. So you're multiple layers. And then you got to have your nurture process in place. You got to be giving them information and value. And I don't mean random touch-ups, things like that. Let's see. Mary says, is there an email follow-up plan, drip plan that you would recommend? Okay, there are two. It's not a product. The first one, if they sign into your IDX registration, you need to set them up on a search that will automatically email them daily if they're available, new listings or price changes. That's the first piece. Set it up for daily. They don't usually happen daily, but set it up for daily. So that's the first one. The second one, at least once a week, you, not canned crap, not a vendor, you need to send an email out to your list helping them. So if you wrote a blog post or you had something happen that week that you know you could share some help with that would help other people, put that in the email, put it on a blog post, do a live stream, do a video, whatever it is. But every single week, once a week, you need to be sending out help in some way. For buyers, for sellers, whatever that is, you need to help people exactly like what I'm doing with leads and leverage and FDS, exactly like what we did for our real estate business, our property management company, and our real estate brokerage. Sorry, couldn't think of that one. I did it. I had an organizing firm, did it for that too. So guys, that's how you give value. We're so worried about like, well, I don't know what to say. And we forget that it's a conversation. We forget that we have conversations with people every day. And all we have to do is share that conversation. I mean, this whole live stream is because somebody asked me, well, how do I generate buyers? So this conversation that I'm having with you is just a question someone else asked. So instead of just answering them and leaving it at that, I'm bringing it to you. So that's what you need to do. When you have a question from an inquiry, whatever it is, about the process, about the journey, about any of it, take that question and the answer to your people, to the people in your email database, and send them the value. That's what I mean by value. I know a lot of other people mean new listings or all this jazz, excuse me, but I mean by value, helping them on their journey, both before owning a house and during the living in the house, and then after the sale. So selling the house. So you want to help them on that overall journey. So that's what you want to give. So hopefully that helps. So you have the automatic IDX emails that go out with the listings that are similar to what they looked at. And then 2, you have the weekly email that is a conversation between you and them. And this is one to many. I mean, this is a conversation, you guys, but there's one of me and there's many of you. So, but I'm still having a conversation, and I'm loving that when you ask questions, I'm one-on-one with you. So that's exactly the same concept. You don't need to do video. You don't need to do live stream, but you do need to be emailing every single week. And if you are doing video or live stream or blogging, you still need to be emailing every single week. So start with that email once a week, no matter if you have one person on your list or 100 people on your list. And later this week, or maybe it's early next week, we're going to talk about, oh no, it's on Friday. We're going to talk about the one thing you're doing that is killing your email marketing. I'm going to go into depth on this because yeah, it's a big one. So I'm going to help you. So on Friday, make sure you come to Fridays and we'll kind of help with this follow-up piece of email marketing on there. So any other questions, you guys? I love that. We talked about the multiple layers. Don't be short-sighted. Don't just be thinking about right now. Yes, do it, but the pieces that you get that are not part of right now, which is going to be about 98% of what you get, they're for future and they're for next year. You need to be setting up those things in place. If you are in real estate and you're in it full time, that's your goal, that's what you're doing, you're not actually carrying on another job, then you need to be actually physically focused on the pieces that will generate income for you at least 4 hours a day, at least. And that's, like Gary Keller talks about lead generating. I'm talking about lead generating is setting up your system, setting up your lead generation and conversion systems. Yeah, you can set up your post-listing follow-up or post-closing follow-ups after, but you need to be able to capture leads into a database, and you need to be able to communicate with them. That's huge. That's big. And it's easy. Use MailChimp. I'll put a link in the comments below. And up above, use MailChimp. That can just be, and that's not a customer relationship management database. It's not CRM. It is a way to email people once a week and give them value. Remember what I said what value was? Value is a conversation. When somebody asks you a question, share that question and the answer. You don't have to say who had the question. You don't have to reveal personal details. You just want to help people. So I'm not even telling you guys who actually asked me. I want to know how to generate buyer leads. There were a few people actually, but that's my point. Don't just answer it one-offs. Use it to help other people. That's what I'm doing with Facebook Lives. That's what I'm doing in email. That's what you guys can be doing. And that's how you build know, like, and trust relationships. That's how you get immediate customers and clients. That's how you get next month's customers and clients. And that's how you get next year's customers and clients. Because if you're doing this now, within 3 or 4 months, you never have to worry about the immediate, because the immediate will always be there. It'll be rolling. Those people that are 3 and 4 months out now, when you get there, they'll be ready, and you'll still have people ready for each month. That's the whole point of building a know, like, and trust relationship. That's the whole point of building a nurture email program, or, there's not even building it. You set up MailChimp and you send an email out once a week and talk to them. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's free, and it's lead generating for you. It's your lead generation time because you're utilizing resources and questions that other people have asked you. So not only are you lead generating, you're leveraging your time, you're leveraging your knowledge, and you're using it in multiple ways. So hopefully I hope I got to all these points. So think about it in layers now, tomorrow, next year. Purge non-essentials. If it is not actually specifically right now something setting you up on a lead capture or conversion system, and it's not getting you face to face with prospects, then you probably should be setting it aside. And I'm talking about, let's face it, guys. Yeah, there's lots of trainings on how to write contracts, and there's lots of trainings on how to use your CRM, and there's lots of trainings on all these neat spiffy ways and other things to do things and all this other stuff you need to implement. But if you need buyer leads today, you need to set those aside temporarily to get this system going for you so that you have a system that's giving you money. You need the money, which frees up the stress that then you can help more people and build a better business. So that's how you do it. That's really how, I mean, there's lots of elements in there, but that's how you do it. And don't get distracted on Facebook. Don't get distracted in these Facebook groups of all these different ideas. The key here is to get a plan, stick to it, consistency, don't bounce around, follow through with it, and put blinders on. Blinkers, they're horse blinkers. Put blinders on. So you don't look at what other people are doing. If you have a plan and you know it works, I talked about a model yesterday. If you're following a model that works, don't look elsewhere for other answers. Follow that model. So that was yesterday's episode. I don't remember the number. Episode 34, I think. So yeah, lots. And remember on Friday, we're going to talk about the one thing you're doing that's killing your email marketing. It's actually, well, it's the first thing. It's the most thing. We're going to talk about more than one. Because there's like 2 or 3 major ones. I can't remember from my notes right off the top of the bat. But there's a couple that are like killers. So, all right. So I've been talking. What questions do you guys have? I need a drink of water. I've been talking a lot today. What questions do you have? First of all, what have I created confusion on that I need to help create clarity on? And what's going to be your next step from this point on? I want to get those from you. You can answer any one of those. Any one of those. You don't have to answer all of them. I know there's several of you on here, so let me know. And I'm watching the phone and the computer because some comments show up on one and not the other. But definitely, let me know. What do you need clarity on? What's your next step? You don't have to answer all of these, just a couple. What do you have comments on, or what do you want me to go deeper on? Any one of those. Mary says, emails are short, brief. Would it include a handout or it depends? Okay, so your emails, when you're sending out to your list, they're a conversation. So it depends on if you actually did something, like if you're sharing something from your blog, or like for me, I usually share my live streams. So usually what I do is I have a conversation. I talk about something that happened and how it leads into a particular topic that I'll be talking about live stream. Sometimes it's completely unrelated. The point is you're building a relationship. So they want to kind of know that you're human, and they want to kind of know that they can relate to you. They have, you have some of the same, foibles, or you have some of the same thoughts, things like that. So I will either share, a quick little thing, like a lesson I learned or something I saw or was thinking about. A lot of times, you know how we go down rabbit trails as we're thinking? Like we see something and then we're thinking about it and then we're down this rabbit trail and we're somewhere else. A lot of times things just pop up and go, ooh, that applies as a correlation or a parable or whatever. Use those. Use that. So have this conversation. Oh, I was there the other day and I watched this and I did this. Just like when I talked to you guys at the beginning of this live stream, when I asked you, what have you been told? What have you been told about what to do to get immediate buyer leads? So when I send this one, I'm going to send this one out probably next week to my list because I want to help people. So I'm going to say, what have you been told about buyer leads? And I know I've been told XYZ, da 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 da. Well, here's a live stream that I did, and I'm going to point people to this live stream. So how long your emails are will depend entirely upon what you're sending out. Are you sending out a blog post? I mean, are you going to point them to a blog post to go to your website? And I would suggest that you do. You want to train your list to click. You want it to train to get them to take action, not just read everything in your email. So you need to train them that, yes, it's okay. You can come over here. No, I'm not going to like trap you into anything. You can come over here. You can read this blog or you can watch this video and be okay, because you're training them to click and you're training them to trust. So you want them to click and trust so that they know, okay, all right, I can trust them. They're helping me. So that's what you're doing. You're training them to click and you're teaching them to trust you. So I would recommend doing a blog post of some sort, introducing it, talking about something a little bit personal or in your life, and then leading to the blog post topic and just say, hey, or even an intro to the blog post, like the first paragraph, so that they want to click here to read more. So that's what you want to do. Sometimes I don't decide how long or short my emails are going to be. Sometimes they're like 5 sentences. Other times they're 50 sentences. So it just depends. And I go for the conversation. How much does it take for me to share what I'm going to share, or to help how I want to help, etc. And you're going to get people who say, oh, you talk too much. And you're going to get people who say you don't go too deep. That's why you need to know your avatar. I talk about the avatar a lot. That's why you need to know your avatar and what they want. For example, here's a very good example. If you know the DISC personality profile, the DISC, I am an off the charts D. I have almost 0 S, which means I'm like crazy D. I like things short, sweet, succinct. But my avatar is usually an S. So as a real estate agent, most of you have a pretty high S. Okay. So high Ds tend not to resonate with what I have to teach. Not what I have to teach, with how I'm teaching. Every once in a while I get an email and they're like, oh, you talk too much. And I'm like, okay, that's great. You're a D. I get it. I wouldn't listen to me either. But this is about helping S's. Ds are like 5% of the population. S's are like 70% of the population. So I want to help S's. I want to help people who don't feel like they're being served in the real estate industry. D's are like, boom, 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 boom. We just grab it and go and do it. We're kind of always served because it's just boom, 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 if that makes sense. So anyway, my point is, don't let little anecdotal things lead you astray. If you know your avatar and you know how your avatar likes to learn, how they like to communicate, then you keep doing and communicating in the way that your avatar likes, how they can communicate with you. So that was a, they're not short, they're not long, they're what they need to be. And no, you wouldn't necessarily include a handout. In fact, you don't want to send attachments via email to your whole list. Awesome. Kim says, I can finally see my website layout, so I just have to get it on paper. Awesome. Awesome. Any other questions, you guys? Any other thoughts? I'm looking at the time. We have about I've got about 15, 20 minutes left that I can have a conversation with you guys and talk about this. So if you're doing these things, you need to be on the hunt. You really need to be watching, talking to everybody. That is a big one. Running those ads. Those will be fast. If you just don't love it, if the idea of being constantly out talking to people is a little draining, or you're not in a situation where you have your own listings and you don't have a situation where you can actually leverage someone else's listings, then you need to be running the Facebook ads that I was talking about. So if you're just popping in and you missed it earlier in the live stream, I told you exactly who to run them to and what kind of ads to run to get buyer leads into your database right away. And then how to nurture them over the long haul. So you need to be doing that. And that was one of the big things that I like to do. Yes, I like having conversations, but sometimes people just exhaust me. So I love to run ads to bring people in. That's what I did for a real estate business. So, and then Chuck would do the follow-up calls and things like that. I always did all the follow-up emails. Amy, yes, exactly. Amy says, I'm just going to say I'm an ID, 0 S or C, and yes, I have a really hard time with the live stream and the video. Totally get it. I'm a DI. I'm a 100D, 99I. My D leads like you would not believe. And I have almost 0 S, which is why my D just like pounds that I down. And so, and then I'm not quite at the midline on the C, but I have enough of a C that there's some detail for a certain length of time. But it's funny because I have the profile of someone who would be like, in the Keller Williams realm, would be like an operating partner, an OP, or a team leader. And a friend of mine is a team leader at a KW, and every time I even hear what he's doing, I'm like, I would be bald. That would drive me insane. We have the same profile. I don't get it. I would go crazy doing that. Yeah. So, because I don't like to babysit people. I do not like to babysit people. Oh no. Yes, that's why I love this, because basically those of you who want to take action, want to implement, you're here by choice. And however I can help you, you take those nuggets and you run with them. Amy, I totally understand. That's really funny that that's funny. I get it. Any other questions, you guys? Thoughts? And Amy, I know, let me just share this too, Amy. Inside Facebook Domination Secret, the membership that you're part of, we're in the process of a major revamp. So you're going to see over the next couple of months a lot more checklists, a lot more short how-tos. We're hiring a video person to take a lot of the videos that we've done and pull out the quick how-tos to break them down for people. So you're going to see a lot of that start coming in organization. So that's going to help the D's in there. So Tanya says, would you go with generic for buyer ads or very specific in my neighborhood, school, etc.? Very specific, very specific. And you want to target people based on that. So you want to pull out the people who are interested. You know, are you wanting to get your kids enrolled in XYZ? Well, you have to say, do you want to live in XYZ school district? And then click here to see all the houses in that district or whatever. Or by neighborhood or by house type or by house layout, you know, ranchers versus 2 stories versus twins versus condos, or by, what else? There's so many different ways, so many different things, but yes, very specific. Definitely. The more specific, the better. And the more ads you run, the better. The more quantity of ads. 1 second. Excuse me, you guys. Good sneeze. Any other questions? Thank you. It's probably the air conditioning. It's been on for a couple days now, so every once in a while, it's just kind of, we have good filters, but every once in a while I get a little sneeze. I don't have allergies, so. All right, guys, if there are no more questions, I'm going to wrap today's Ribbit Show up. And don't forget, let's see, what are we talking about? Tomorrow, tomorrow we're going to talk about printed ads. What are your thoughts on neighborhood ads in their printed newsletter? And then on Friday, we're going to go into the one thing you're doing that is killing your email marketing. And we'll go a little bit deeper on that one. Mary says, I've never written a blog, so what would you recommend? Actually, Mary, I've got a free, I love free, 5-day Get Your Blog On Challenge. And you go to leadsandleverage.com/GYBO. Get Your Blog On. It's a 5-day challenge, and I walk you through how to write a blog, what to look at, what to do, etc. So you can go there to help you on that. So I like that. There's about 400 people in the challenge right now, and we're just kind of going through it and getting it written, getting it done, getting how to find topics, how to write it so it's easy, how to edit it, what to put in there, what to do. That's all in the 5-day challenge. There's a lot in there, but it's there for you. So hopefully that'll help you on that. All right, guys. If you ask me questions after I'm already off, please ask them, put them in the comments below, and I will help you. I'll respond. I come back. I engage a lot. Have a wonderful, awesome day today, and I will see you on future Ribbit shows. Thanks for coming, you guys.